What is going on, team? Welcome back to the channel. We are back here again, home away from home at OPEX Gatwick. I'm wearing my GB bobsleigh jacket, not because I want to show off, because it's flipping freezing. It's dark outside. It's currently about 8:45, and this is literally the only time I could get in the gym today, but needs must, and I'm not going to miss a session. We're going to be cracking on with a warm-up in a minute. I'm then going to be cracking on with the lower body session that I'm super kind of excited to share with you guys, actually, the way that I structure kind of all of my gym sessions. I've changed a couple of things, and that's what we're going to be talking about in a bit, and especially the way that that new kind of principle applies to lower body stuff, applies to my lower body sessions, has just allowed me to not only kind of get in and out the gym a little bit quicker, which is good because my lower body sessions used to last for flipping ages. It feels as though I'm just getting a hell of a lot more work done in less time. Absolutely game changing. But now, as we are professionals, need to warm up. Bag is on, great session, guys. Bent it. I'm all warm, I'm stretched, done a couple of drills. We're headed down the stairs now. Half my flipping workout is going up and down stairs. That's very lazy of me, actually. There's only about 12 of them, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I've left the kind of the conditioning area and the turf, and then we are back down here in the downstairs area, or as I call it, the arena. And what is the lower body session that has changed your life, Jim? Let's find out. And here we have it, team. The mythical scroll. As you saw in one of my recent videos, one of the biggest things for me at the moment is basically getting in and out of the gym as quick as possible. And like I said at the beginning of this video, lower body sessions used to take flipping ages. And that was actually one of the reasons, again, I started to feel as though I was dreading them. So a big part of my kind of self-awareness with this stuff now is like self-reported. And I'm like, is this something that is only kind of counting points towards a certain goal? Or is it a hell of a lot more important than that? Is it something that I enjoy? Again, something I'm massively outspoken about. So one of the things that's been game changing for me is I basically start every single one of my strength sessions at the moment with a 10-minute EMOM. So here we've got strength EMOM, 10 minutes, and I'm doing 2 different exercises. So minute 1 is one exercise, minute kind of the odds are 1 and the evens are another. So safety bar squats, which is something I'm going to do down to a box today for 5. Basically, I try to do that quite often when I'm here. I'm going to start implementing that more into my lower body program when I'm here at OPEX. And one of the reasons for that it makes sense to me to kind of diversify my body, that when I go to a gym that I don't train at all the time, obviously you've seen a lot of video footage here, but this isn't my usual gym. I try to take advantage of any kind of kit or equipment that they've got that I don't have on a day-to-day basis. So safety bar squats are 5, and then RDLs from the pins, so there's no real eccentric with it, and you're not having to hold the grip at the bottom. It's literally just that pure kind of, obviously slight bend at the knee, hinge position there, and then just the concentric on the way up. I'm not going to drop it, I will lower it down, but there's not an awful lot of eccentric control. It's just focusing on the concentric. So those 2 exercises, and basically that is effectively 2 strength exercises done in 10 minutes. And you might think that, like, if one of them takes you 20 seconds, 40 seconds break isn't long enough. But one of the things that I like, that I'll kind of go into just a tiny little bit of like high-end detail here, is safety bar squats for me are quite quad dominant, and obviously RDLs are quite posterior chain dominant. So if I'm going to do 2 different exercises in that strength EMOM, I'm going to make sure that one of them is like anterior chain based and one of them is posterior chain based. So basically one of them is quad dominant and one of them is posterior chain. And for me, those are the 2 that I decided that I'd do tonight. Again, safety bar being kind of the linchpin and the flipping blue ribbon event of this. But it basically means that I've got 2 strength exercises done in 10 minutes. And for those of you, the haters out there, pessimistic sons of that you are, might say there's not enough time to rest, and you're probably right. But for me, an absolute strength gain and giving it 4 or 5 minutes between each set isn't worth the trade-off for me. So I feel as though the human body adapts so flipping quickly. Even doing this for 2 weeks, I've started to notice that I'm less gassed, and now even my nervous system is starting to adapt a little bit quicker, and I'm ready to basically go into a heavy set with probably, if it lasts 30 seconds, and then with the other exercise, about 90 seconds break. So already I'm starting to feel a positive adaptation for that, and to do 2 different strength lifts, kind of like the main focal point of the session, in 10 minutes, game changing. Let's get some weight on the bar, let's move my broken body around a little bit, and let's get cracking. And there we have it, team. Safety bar box squats done. 5 reps at 120, which is too light actually. I don't really know why I did that. I don't know whether I miscounted or just kind of flipping lost my head. But 120 was quite light and I kind of regretted it on the first set, but I kind of committed to the EMOM, and that's also part of the process, getting to a stage where you know realistically you're not, with 90 seconds break and only 40 seconds break from something else, you're not going to be lifting as heavy as you possibly could do. But I don't think the drop is as much as you think. But at the same time, you do still have to kind of negotiate that and slalom what is the right number. So 120, almost embarrassed now, too light. And then 160 on kind of the rack pulls on the RDLs. I tried to make sure there's as little quad as possible in that, and it was all kind of hamstrings and posterior chain. And for me, that just pure concentric glute activation is wicked. And again, 10 minutes, 10 sets done, loads of strength benefit. And compared to what I would have done before, you know, the difference might be I would have lifted a little bit heavier, but to get this this amount of volume in, this volume of work in, it wouldn't have taken, to get an extra, you know, 10%, 15% load on the bar, it wouldn't have taken me an extra 10% time. It would have taken double or more, realistically, if I didn't superset them and EMOM them like this. So again, something that is making a huge difference, and I was worried that I would have lost strength, but I did this a little bit before the levels throwdown competition in London at CrossFit SW1. Big up CrossFit SW1. And I managed to do one of the tests was a 10 rep max lunge, and I did 140, and I was very, very happy with that. And I was worried because I'd done a lot of like EMOM lower body stuff before, because I started messing around with it when I was in Dubai about a month ago. I was worried that I would have lost strength and I wasn't going to get that much, but overall, like, that's 140 for 10 on a lunge. I'm pretty bloody happy with that. So it looks like strength drop is not a thing when you train this weight. One thing I say with this as well, guys, is I don't jump straight into it. I'm not that silly with making sure I get done quick. I normally give myself about 5, 6 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes to get kind of warmed up on both exercises. Again, some people might say that's not enough to get up to a working weight, but I'm just an increasing believer because of my own flipping experience, and that's all I'm speaking to. It is susceptible to adaptation. So things for me now, 5, 6, 7 minutes, I can get up to a working weight pretty quickly. And I'm also a big believer that generally people just dick about in the gym too much. And what is done in 90 minutes can be done in 55. If, again, you just dig a little bit deeper, get done quicker, and just execute things with a little bit of urgency. And yeah, 5, 6 minutes or so, good comprehensive warm up, 5, 6 minutes for me. And then I'm ready to kind of crack on with my strength list. I'm just doing a few last minute warm-ups, and then I'll be getting heavy in a minute. Maybe not, heavy for me. Right team, what is going on? So we've done the strength EMOM. We are now on to, as you see here, number 2, Mr. G. That is not me. That is basically what I call the mid-range giant set. So obviously today I'm kind of walking you through how I structure my lower body sessions now. Comprehensive kind of slightly ascending ladder of speed warm-up, to get a bit of a conditioning component in there as well. Spoken about it before. Strength EMOM is the first section, 2 different exercises for 8 to 10 minutes. And the second bit is the mid-range giant set. And the mid-range bit I'm talking about is the mid-range in terms of the rep range. So I'd say, so 8 each side for step-ups, 10 for some banded hypers with a pause at the top. Then we're going to do 3 lengths with the sled. Obviously 3 is a low number, but it's not really 3 activations of your quad. It's a little bit more than that because you've got to push the whole leg. But with an acceleration focus, it's going to be pretty light, but it's those first couple of steps that I want to focus on. So as you see, everything's quite power-based today. And then 10 hammy curls. So 8, 10, a bit of a non-applicable, and then 10 again. I think that is mid-range in terms of like the hypertrophic window. I think that I don't really like kind of hitting like 20s. I consider that more of like a muscular endurance and kind of lactic burn thing. And this one I want to be still kind of hypertrophic really. So that's why I've gone for those rep ranges. Obviously lighter than it would be if I was doing 4s, heavier than it would be if I was doing like 20s. So 3 rounds, 2 minutes between. Sleds upstairs, hammy curls are upstairs, but these 2 are down here. I'm going to stick with 90 kilos on the first set of 80 side step ups. That is quite light. I should be around about 110. But my hip's a little bit tweaky and I just want to see how it goes because I'm not used to training at about flipping 10 to 10. But again, I'm being as much like Dwayne Johnson as I can, not making excuses and get it down in. So let's get cracking with this one. feel pretty decent as well. One more, let's get it done. I'm in the no man's land. This is behind the curtain. Super loud music upstairs and downstairs. I can't bother to turn it off, so I thought I'd do this little cheeky extra kind of piece to camera here, where we're not gonna get absolutely pillaged for copyright breakages of laws or something. 2 done, 1 to go. Feeling pretty good actually. The step ups definitely feel the most challenging. Like it doesn't feel heavy on my back, but I can definitely feel like my legs are fatigued. The banded hypers are fine. They're really, really good actually. I think because I only did 5 reps on the RDLs, and that's concentric only, they've kind of, I wondered whether or not they'd fatigue them, but overall that seems to be a nice rep range for me where it basically primes them. I think if I was doing like sets of 8, I'd be feeling a little bit more. But because I only did sets of 5 earlier, they feel quite good. The prowlers, surprisingly, feel really, really good. Don't feel too heavy. And obviously it's pretty light. It's only 60, I think I've got on there, but it's moving pretty well. And overall, I'm not feeling a massive amount of lactic, which is really, really good, which might again be a demonstration of the fact that because I've started chipping away at my body's ability to recover quicker, that does seem to be working well. And then the hamstring curls seem to be really, really nice actually, kind of just feeling smooth. Sometimes when I do like isolated hammy work, I get like that pre-cramp, pre-spasm flutter, you know what I mean? And I'm not getting that here. So it just feels as though everything's warmed. Just want to get these flipping next set of step ups done. But 2 done, 1 round to go on the Mr. G. Let's get it done. And there we go guys, the mid-range giant set, 3 rounds of that done. Because it took me a little bit of time to be lazy and set the camera up and stuff, I didn't really check my rest between. I don't think I had 2 minutes actually. I finished on the hammy curls upstairs and kind of just came straight back down with the camera set up for the step ups again and then kind of cracked straight on. But it's amazing that thing used to gas me. Like the speed at which I feel my breath recover is just so much quicker. Literally already within kind of a month of this kind of work, again, with literally no loss of muscle size or muscle strength. And again, a month isn't good enough to kind of truly test it, but I'm not doing it. Well, I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. I don't want to lose strength and size, but mainly I'm doing it, just to kind of mix it up and see how I get on, because I want to kind of try different things and then share my findings with you beautiful people. And also selfishly, one of the things I'm really trying to work on is to get in and out the gym a little bit quicker, hence the reason for one of my last videos most recently. So there is a 3rd section. So we've done the strength EMOM, we've done the mid-range giant set. We're now headed back upstairs for a little bit of kind of a conditioning finisher with a specific focus on kind of like lactic tolerance. This is the bit that's disgusting, but this is the bit that realistically now, if I kind of just teleported into this body, I wouldn't really know that I've done a leg session. Maybe I would a little bit, but I want to go upstairs and just the strange masochist side of all of us who want to feel a little bit of a burn to feel as though we've worked, and this is the kind of thing that's going to get us there. Let's head upstairs, shall we? Back upstairs, guys, for the conditioning bit. We've done the EMOM strength, we've done the mid-range giant set, and boom! Already smudged a little bit. Flipping heck, I had one job. One of the lactic conditioning bit, and I'm going to do some banded kettlebell swings. I just feel as though kettlebell swings, they don't really hit your posterior chain too much, regardless of the weight really. So I'm a massive fan of banded stuff, just rushing so that they're up, but they're constantly under tension. So you have to work hard to get it there, and then obviously there's no dead space, it's under the tension of the band, so swinging it back down to 16 of those, which is super quick. And then some dumbbell jump lunges, so a dumbbell in each hand, 16, so 8 each side, and then some bike erg sprints, 10. But I'm going to put the dampener probably up on the bike erg, on the Concept 2 bike erg, up to about anywhere between 6 and 8. 6 and 8 on a bike erg is not the same level of resistance as 6 to 8 on a ski erg or a rower. Although it's Concept 2, I don't know who the flip decided to make it 10 times worse, but it is a lot heavier. It literally just feels as though you're like cycling through honey up a cliff. It's a good little analogy. I enjoyed that. So 3 rounds of that, guys, with a little bit of a break between. But one of the things I do want to do, obviously that's very kind of posterior chain based. That's a little bit of everything, but still quite quaddy, and that is all quaddy. I want to go from the lunges into the bike erg sprint straight away. So it's not necessarily full quality. I want to see whether or not I've got that power output even when I'm a little bit fatigued. So let's get cracking and flipping heck. It is 22 past 10. Let's get this done. And that is a wrap. Good work, team. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Granted, that took a little bit longer than I was expected. Ironic, with kind of the main message of today. With that being said, obviously moving the audience around with me as we go. Took a little bit longer, but overall, breaking my sessions up, especially my lower body sessions, which have always been just a flipping anxiety-inducing event, knowing that it's going to be about 2 hours door to door. Being able to warm up quick with my new warm-up routine, which I shared with you guys in a previous video, then being able to do the strength EMOM, then the mid-range giant set, and then a little bit of lactic conditioning burner to finish. If you go in there, plug yourself in new music, don't flip and speak to anyone and get it done, you can do all of that in an hour. Probably maybe a little bit less actually, maybe 50 to 60 minutes, and it's just such a relief knowing that I have a system that I can do that without having to compromise any gains and kind of improvements and builds in either strength or size of performance. So super buzzing with that. Thank you for joining me, guys. Any kind of requests or anything else you'd like me to cover? I'm thinking about doing another video kind of showcasing how I would apply this kind of template to an upper body session. If you guys are interested in that, then let me know. Any questions on anything that I've covered, because it's been quite kind of programming dense, then just put down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome. Peace out for now, and I'll see you in the next one.